Today I am joined by WCIA 3's meteorologist Jacob Dickey, and today I have questions for you.
Well, you haven't had a chance to ask them because
I know.
This is our first time.
It is.
The way the holiday schedules and, it's just how...
I thought you were avoiding me. I even
Totally.
said, do you actually want to do AYM, or are you just going to always send Adam?
But I think Kevin, wanted to take some time off more. Adam's taking some, we've been kind of... This holiday schedule, the holiday schedule is really messy. And I tell you what, now that we're into January, I was hoping things would be a little more normal around here.
Right.
But all this active weather we're having.
I know.
Goodness out there.
Which
cold, snow, all that.
It's crazy and it's exciting and it's everywhere, because as I was leaving the holidays in Ohio with my family, it was heavy wind advisory, and then they said by the end of the day there might be a tornado. Yeah. So I have so many questions
it's been
about
up and down
tornadoes.
and all around. This has been a winter where we've seen big swings up, big swings down. We've talked about that. Folks have experienced that. What a swing down we are in now. But that means we can at least look back at 2024 or think ahead to warmer times, because when it's cold like it is now, you can't get tornadoes, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
you tell me. You can't get tornadoes when it's cold? Is that?
No, not this cold. I mean, what those wind chills are out there.
Because it's what? When a warm front meets a cold front?
You gotta have some warmth out there. Warmth, humidity, instability. So we are not thinking about that. But I thought it was great to look back in 2024.
Okay.
Kind of experience what we had. So I got a graphic here. This actually is a graphic that has all of the tornado warnings in the United States plotted on it from January 1st to December 31st. And you can see there's been some zones that have had many more tornado warnings than others there. Of course, you look out west, Denver, Montana, there's a couple here and there out there in the west, but there's not a lot there. Tornado Alley typically is considered to be the Great Plains, into the Great Lakes region, the Ohio River Valley, even in the southeast United States. And that's because we got the warm Gulf waters to the south, mountain range to the west, continental air to the north. Those air masses can clash and give us those storm systems, and they delivered this year with tornadoes. This was a really active year, and in some aspects, even a historical year for tornado activity around the United States. How about I zoom in a little bit? Let's talk about Illinois. Nobody cares about other states, right?
Right.
We're central Illinois. We're the ones.
We have a lot of red, I see.
We do, yeah. And those are all those warnings that were plotted. Really, the southern half of the state and the northern half of the state had some blockbuster years there. We had a few tornado warnings here locally. Down in southern Illinois, of note, down by Goreville. That's at the 57-24 split. There was a pretty significant tornado there. And even some tornadoes there in the St. Louis area. Northern Illinois had that derecho back in June. That brought some tornado warnings, lots of them out there. And we had our fair share here locally as well. A couple of those that stand out. A couple of those boxes there west of Champaign came during that June derecho. Same up in Livingston County. And then it seemed like for us, the hot spot this year was south of Springfield and west of Effingham. See all those boxes overlaying each other?
Yeah.
Those are individual tornado warnings. For one reason or another, some years are more active than others. Last year, it was the I-72 corridor. We had just Springfield to Champaign, and that area had tornado warnings. And why that is, I know you're going to ask why that is.
Well, I was going to ask something else, but I do want to know why. So tell me that, and then I'll ask
why that is. There's honestly no rhyme or reason about it. There's not a specific, identifiable reason why this area had more tornado warnings than not. And that does also come into consideration the actual tornado reports. Just because there's a tornado warning doesn't mean you get a tornado.
That was going to be my question, is how often when there's a tornado warning, does it become a tornado itself? And also, what is sort of the, warning versus a watch versus an actual
watch
tornado?
Means kind of a heads up. When I go into schools, I talk to kids, I say, hey, if your teacher tells you to watch out, you're not in trouble yet, but you're about a step away, aren't you?
Okay.
And when you get a warning, then you got some consequences coming. Same thing here. Right. So we have those tornado warnings, and oftentimes when we look at actual tornadoes, the National Weather Service will issue a tornado warning if there's strong rotation aloft, or if there actually is a tornado. That is the case here. Typically, they like to have some lead time, right? We know some of those ingredients that come together to make tornadoes, and so they like to have some lead time that, hey, something's coming, and so that's the case. I do have some graphics that show actual tornadoes, and I'm going to go back a couple of years here. 2022, how about that? We had only 5 tornado reports the entire year of 2022 in central Illinois. Really not a big year by any stretch of the imagination. Look at 2023, though. Last year, we were punished.
Whoa.
There's that I-72 corridor. We had 35 tornadoes, including a deadly tornado down in Crawford County, the Robinson area. A couple of big tornado outbreaks during that. Here's the 2024 list. Had some clusters. Macon County had an event in the spring. Also, there was a bit of a windstorm from up in Lexington and McLean County through Gibson City that brought some tornadoes. And then the rest of them were fairly... I don't want to say random, but, you had a tornado here one day, here another day. There weren't any big events that came from that.
Now, I have one final question before we wrap up. If I don't heed your warning, and am not paying attention and I see a tornado, what do I do?
Well, if you don't heed our warning, first off, I'm not your dad, so I can't tell you what to do, right? But we have those warnings in play. The standard science, or the standard information: in, down, up. Go inside, get down as low as you can, cover up with pillows, blankets, mattress. I teach kids in schools: in, down, up, every time. You're in a car, though.
Oh yeah, what if you're in a car?
Because I know do you drink Diet Coke, your large Diet Cokes, right?
I'm not a Diet Coke. I'm not a soda. I'm a coffee person.
Oh, coffee. Oh, she's on her way to Starbucks to get coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're out driving, you got to find a safe spot. Go to a convenience store, a gas station, and head to a sturdier building. Cars are no matches for tornadoes.
Okay.
But something that's new this year, if you are in a tornado warning situation, we actually are simulcasting on the radio stations here in Champaign.
Okay.
So you can sometimes find us.
You can hear it.
That's something where our live coverage on TV also available now on radio.
Should I get under the car if there's nowhere to stop if I'm in the middle of a cornfield?
Why don't we wait till it warms up?
Okay, right. Then hide under the car.
Because people aren't remembering this. People are saying, how do I stay warm? It's cold out there this month.
Good point. Yeah, see, I'm from California, so I forgot about that.
That's true.
Well, thank you so much for being here and teaching us about tornadoes.
Great to be here.
If you want to rewatch this segment, you can head on over to ciLiving.tv.